what you call it, for the mission and stuff. But now they're not actually rotating. So let's set up the rotation and let's see how we're gonna do that. Okay, so we're gonna set up the rotation values now. So I'm gonna go create a new dynamic set. So it's gonna be the third dynamic set we're gonna be dropping, and I'm gonna get the new laola wave group over here, since that's what we're gonna be working on. And now we kind of need to make it rotate. Now to make it rotate, there's a few nodes you can use. You can use an alignment, but honestly, it didn't work for me in my case, so I'm not even gonna use that. But you also have a set alignment, which gets the particle data, and it also needs an alignment node. Now if you don't plug anything in, TP will remain invalid, and that group, that whole node is gonna fail. The whole system is gonna fail. Now the reason I use the set alignment is because it has rotation values in it and a variation also, so that's kind of neat. The alignment really didn't have none. I think it does, but I didn't check really good. For the alignment, we're just gonna set up a dummy. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is actually just drop in a box. So I'm gonna just drop in a box over here, just keeping with the aspect of the boxes going on. Then I'm gonna go back to TP. I'm gonna get a node so that way I can get the alignment from the box. So I'm gonna drop in a node, and I'm gonna get the alignment, plug it in into this, but I'm gonna need to pick up my node, which is actually the box which is just created. As you can see over here, box 2. Alright, so now we got that particular stuff set up, but now we actually need to make this stuff, how do you want to say this? This stuff, when this one is rotating, when it's already finished rotating, this one is almost just finishing rotating, and the next one is just starting to rotate, and this one over here hasn't started to rotate. So in TP, the way you can implement this is using timers. Timers are really awesome once you get to the hang of it. I never got the hang of this till like, well, not too long ago, and trust me, not too long ago. Now you need a particle, obviously, so we're gonna plug in the particle to the particle. And next you need a start value, so you can use a condition. So you can use a particle age condition, and for the particle you can test for when the particle enters the group. Which group? This group, in our particular instance, the laola wave group. And from that time on, you can start the timer. So you can think of it like this: all these particles which are actually white right now, the time hasn't started yet. But all of these guys whose value are red, who are in the laola wave group now, the values have already started. So now we got that potion set up, and as you can see, this outputs a particle, because it's a particle time that you're talking about. So this particle is actually not going to work for this one. It's actually going to be needed from this one. So that's the alignment only sets the particle which have already been calculated. Now, while I'm at it, I'm actually going to say that the time frames over here is 30 seconds. And I'm going to go ahead and say one more thing, that I'm going to pull up my time configuration. And my time is an NTC, so European pretty much. So European, African, Asian. If you're in America and using PAL systems, you'd be like, how many frames is it? I don't know. But 30 frames a second pretty much is what you're looking at, so I'm gonna stick with that. Now what I'm gonna go ahead and do is drop in a float. So a float under the helpers, get a float, and what I'm gonna go ahead and do is animate this so that from 0, I'm gonna animate it from 0. So I'm gonna use this as an example over here, but I'm gonna reset it after. So if in the rotation right now is actually 0 right now for the Y, but if I actually go ahead flip this to 180, you see that just goes on the other side, flies flat. But I'll just go ahead and put it back to normal. So pretty much want an animation that goes from 0 to 180. Now for the timeline over here, for the float value that you got over here, and you might want to rename this with something good, I'm gonna go ahead to the very fast frame over here. I'm gonna turn on my auto keyframes by pressing the N key or pressing the little auto key, and you should have a red background pretty much to tell you that you're keyframing stuff. Fast keyframe is gonna be 0. Then I'm gonna go to the 30th frame, which is pretty much 1 second. So if you're in America and the other places where they have how many frames is pop? 29.97 or something? I'm not really 24, 25, 25 frames a second. I really don't know. You want to make it to like 25 if you want to actually have it animate in 1 second. So my float value in 1 second is gonna be up to 180. So pretty much it's gonna go from 0 to 180. If I actually scrub this, it goes from 0 to 180. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up my curve editor for that, track view for that. And as you can see, this is the curve that it creates, a ease in and an ease out from 0 to 180 in 30 seconds. Alright, so pretty much it's gonna flip the box from 0 to 180 in 30 seconds, and we're gonna use this, and actually you can manipulate this. So if you want a really fast and clunky rotation, you can just manipulate it like that, and if you want a smooth rotation, really long ease out, you can have it like that. But I'm gonna just leave mine like so, so like kind of remains with the idea. And now that we got that set up, we need to get the time value for that timer, which is 30 seconds in our case, hence the 30 seconds animation over here. So time over here, and plug it into the time from to here. And now for the value that you get output from here, we can on the Y rotation. Now if you come over here and play the animation a little bit, for the Y rotation over here, well, it won't animate because you actually have this plugged into the timer. I'm gonna go ahead and plug in the value to the Y rotation right here. Alright, and now turn that back to 0 just in case. Now what you should have, if I go back out, we have a problem. I'm gonna play, and there we go. Turn that black, and you see you get this rotating effect from the center out. And pretty much all you need to do right now is have this stuff shaded. And for one, this little box right here, you can actually change the rendering control to not renderable, so it doesn't render. And now in TP, it makes really a really good way of shading stuff. So if you go back to the interface, and then under the master dynamic, change the group as objects. Make sure groups as objects is actually checked, so that way the particles actually become objects and actually selectable inside on right here inside the viewport. So now if I actually go ahead, click on this and go under my modify panel, and if I can take this stuff out from box to just something right there, if I can actually view this, there's my all group. I'm gonna move this over here. That's the laola, and that's the all group. So that's the all group and laola group. Okay, so I'm gonna pick the all group as of right now, and I'm gonna give it a UV mapping because you need UV data. What did I just do? I didn't mean to move that. Okay, I still got the all group selected, so I'm gonna give it a UV map data, and it's gonna be a box so you can fit, and it's gonna be pretty much, it should fit. It should have already fit inside it. And I'm also do the same thing for the laola wave. I'm gonna drop in a UV map, and it's gonna be a box also, and it's gonna have to fit and fit. Okay, so now what I can do now is actually go to my material panel over here, and I have two materials as of right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop the first material to the all group, and the second material onto the laola wave group. Put this to shaded, and I'll actually go ahead view my material on the viewport, and actually it's supposed to fit, and put that to fit. Now if I go back to my very first frame, you got my then what you got next. So as I said earlier, it's all about the African thing right now in South Africa. So if I play this, the line doesn't I'm gonna go ahead and select my UV mapping over here, make it fit. And now we got this kind of swirly motion with you know, straight up setup from TP, and it's pretty nifty. And the best thing is that you can actually go ahead render this straight off the top without any no extra stuff. And I'm pretty much done for the tutorial. So I'm pretty much done. So now I'm gonna see you on the next one when I get a little bit of time to actually manipulate the data and actually, you know, do this. But definitely it's gonna be a TP, so watch out for that. I'm out.